Hey everyone, today we're jumping into a timeless story that really makes you think about leadership, about character, and about what it actually means to be worthy. This is the test of true worth.
So let's just start with a big question. What truly makes a person worthy? I mean, our society often rewards the strongest or listens to the oldest. But are those the real measures of a person's value? Or could it be something, well, something a lot deeper?
And right here, you can see the two competing ideas. On one side, you've got the standard way of thinking. Strength and age make you qualified. But on the other side, we have this king who was on a quest for something totally different, a virtuous character. He was ready to throw the old rulebook out the window.
So, our story kicks off in ancient times with this wise king. He had a classic problem. He needed to choose his successor. But instead of just picking the oldest son, like tradition demanded, he decided he was going to find the most deserving one, no matter where he was in the line of succession.
Now, what's really fascinating is the specific quality the king was searching for. The word is shilvafon. And this isn't just about being, a nice person. It's so much more. It's someone with deep integrity, genuine compassion, and this kind of quiet, unshakable inner strength. That was the gold standard for his next king.
So how in the world do you test for a quality as deep as Shilvan? Well, the king's plan was actually beautifully simple. He gathered his 5 sons, told them there would be a test, and then he just watched. He knew that when you put people under pressure, their true nature comes out, not in what they say, but in what they do.
Okay, so the scene is set. The 5 princes are all sitting down, a meal is served, and everything seems completely normal. And of course, that's the perfect setup for a real test, right? When no one's expecting it.
And just as they're about to eat, the king throws in a huge curveball. 4 large, hungry hunting dogs are suddenly let loose in the room. Just imagine it, the sudden shock, the noise, that feeling of immediate danger. This was the moment of truth.
The reaction from most of the princes was exactly what you'd expect, pure panic. 4 of them, 4, immediately just bolted. They scrambled away in fear, leaving their food, their dignity, everything. Their only instinct was to save themselves.
The contrast here is just so stark. You see the 4 princes who completely panicked and abandoned everything, but then, over on the other side, you have the youngest prince. He didn't run. He just stayed calm and actually took a second to figure out what was going on.
So what does this calm prince do? He doesn't draw a sword. He doesn't shout. Instead, he does something so simple and so compassionate. He takes the 4 plates of food his brothers left behind and just slides them over to the hungry dogs.
And this right here is the absolute heart of the story. In the prince's own words, he understood that the dogs weren't an enemy to be fought. They just had a need that had to be met. His philosophy was so clear. If you share, you get rid of the conflict.
And the result was instant. The dogs, now with food, started eating peacefully. The danger completely disappeared. And with all the chaos turned to calm, the young prince just finishes his own dinner. He solved the problem for everyone, himself included.
In the end, that one simple action showed everything. He chose patience when everyone else panicked. He chose compassion over just thinking of himself. He used wisdom instead of brute force. And maybe the most important lesson of all, he understood the power of sharing over hoarding. These were the qualities of a true Shilvian, a leader worthy of the title.
And this really brings us to the big takeaway of the story. It says the ideal person isn't defined by their rank or their title. It doesn't matter if you're a king living in a palace or just an ordinary person. Your true worth is really measured by your ability and your willingness to share with others.
And this is exactly why a simple story like this is so powerful. It's a reminder that our character isn't defined when things are easy. The real test comes when we're scared, when we feel threatened, or when it feels like there just isn't enough to go around. How we act in those moments, well, that's who we really are.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. That prince used sharing to create peace in one small room. But what if we zoom out? Could that same spirit, that very choice of compassion over fear, be the real foundation for building a more harmonious and connected world for every single one of us?